everyone. Good morning. How are you guys going? I hope everyone's having an awesome week. Mine is crazy busy. I've just hopped off doing an interview with a beautiful lady here in Sydney called Marie Alessi, and we spoke about grief and emotions. And it prompted me to think, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this more. I don't talk about this enough. We were speaking about grief and how we can help our kids manage these big emotions, and often it comes out looking like challenging behaviors. And really just, I think, I speak so much about how we can help our kids to talk about and manage their emotions, know their feelings, and manage themselves appropriately at home and at school. But grief is something that is, it might not happen to all of our kids, to lose someone close to them, like a parent or a family member. But, I was speaking to Marie about the fact that we and our kids don't need to have gone through any big type of trauma or massive difficult event in order to have to feel not resilient or not confident or not know our emotions, right? So we were talking about and this is what I want to talk to you guys about today. You can tell I've not prepared this and usually when I do a video, I've thought about what I want to speak about and I've made some notes and I know what I want to cover, but this is almost like a raw, just me talking about the stuff that I know helps parents. I know it helps families. And so I thought, hop on, speak about it. If this resonates with just one parent out there who is going through something like this with their family and their kids need support, well, then that's good enough for me. So I'm hopping on. It's not scripted, and I just want to talk about what I spoke to Marie about. I'll put her links here if you guys want to contact her, get in touch, or join her community. Her community on Facebook is called Living Life After Loss, I want to say, but I'm going to check that. I'm going to check it, and I will put her links here so you guys can get in touch with her. So she obviously started this community because she had experienced grief. Her husband passed away and she has 2 kids. So she has begun this group where she supports and shares information and tips and strategies for people who are obviously finding how to navigate life after losing someone they love. She has actually found an incredible strength within herself, and I said to her, I don't know how you do it and how you would navigate it. I'm lucky that I have not lost someone so close to me, and I wonder how I would help my kids to navigate that whole time, that time after losing someone, and really grieving. So we spoke about, she said, what are some really great ways that we can help our kids get through the time after losing someone close to them. And I said, look, in terms of emotional intelligence, which we know is just knowing our emotions, being able to manage them, and make good decisions, that whole concept of self-awareness and self-management, we need to teach our kids that any and all emotion is okay. That's number 1. Teach your kids that fear, concern, worry, anxiety, even rage, they are okay. Emotions come and go. They happen to everyone, even mum and dad, even our teachers, even the principal, and that is okay. They're not something to be pushed down or ignored or squashed or not spoken about, because one, we want to take away that stigma that you've got to be brave and tough and happy all the time. And I said to Marie, we can model that ourselves. That's the best way kids learn, right? Through seeing how we're coping and how we're modeling our coping strategies. And she told me a story about how she was in her kitchen and just had a meltdown. she couldn't cope. And she said she went up and spoke to her kids, and they were upstairs and they were afraid, but she explained what happened and why, that she was just struggling to cope. And I said, that's beautiful in a way that you were able to at some point collect yourself and go and explain, put that story behind what happened and teach your kids. Because number one, that's teaching that that's okay. If you guys need to do that, if you need to get that emotion out and show it, emotions are energy in motion in our body. We've got to release that somehow by talking, communicating, sharing, or melting down. But then you also explained that this is how I coped with it, and now I'm okay. We're going to move on. It was scary, but that's what I needed to do to get it out. I'm still here for you, and I love you guys. And we can talk about this stuff that happens. We're talking about it. We're not squashing it down. So I know in the moment it's not comforting or pretty or anything, but I said that was a beautiful moment that you gave your kids that. And she said the very next day, her oldest son did exactly the same thing. Massive meltdown. Let it all out. It was confronting, but I think he was able to do that because he saw that's how mum coped. That's okay that she did that. I won't get in trouble. I need to let it out, what I've been bottling up, and then things will get a little bit better. So, I said to her, we've got to teach our kids, number one, that we're modeling to them all the time. We are modeling how we're coping with our frustrations, our stress, and our triggers. We need to allow our kids to be able to talk about it, open up the conversation, help them build that emotional vocabulary where they have more than just happy, sad, angry. There's I talk about the emotions wheel. You guys know that. If you Google emotion wheel, you'll find a beautifully colored wheel of 3 layers, over 100 emotions on it. And this is something, you can find kid versions if you've got younger kids. And it prompts our kids to have the conversation around how they're feeling and why and what they can do about it. So I always say, teach your kids emotions are okay. How they deal with it or let it out may not be. That's where we set limits and boundaries. But to teach your kids, it's okay that you feel absolutely crap. You feel really, really sad right now. You miss your mum or grandma or whatever. But it is not okay if you are hitting me or kicking your brother or whatever it might be, and those boundaries and limits. When I coach parents, they say, but I don't want my kids to reject me, or, that's too harsh on them. I say, no, we're doing them a favor. We are helping them grow into balanced adults if we set these limits of what's appropriate and not. And it says to them, I love you and I care about you enough that I'm going to put these limits in place to help you grow. Okay. It was such a beautiful conversation that we had. I do interviews every week. I interview other people around emotions and parenting and things like that, and other people interview me, and this one was just different. It was beautiful, and both of us shared so much. I think she got a lot out of it, and so did I. So it's up on her YouTube channel, I believe, and her Facebook community as well. And I just, the main kind of thing that came out of it was keep the lines of communication open with your kids and connect with them. Even if your kids seem to be okay, floating along, ask questions and talk and model, show them how you're coping, show them that you don't always cope. We're not perfect. If we teach our kids that mum is always happy, she's managing it, things are fine, what are we teaching our kids? To put on that mask themselves. So show them the times when you don't cope. Explain it and let them, I talk about shining the light of understanding on what happens by talking about it so kids can process it and understand. And it gives them the tools to then do it themselves. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that. I thought it was so important, talking about grief and just how we can help ourselves and our kids to navigate really, really difficult times, because we know that going through adversity and tough stuff builds resilience in our kids. It really does. So I would love you guys to reach out to me if you have experienced grief, or your kids are going through something that they need support with and you just don't know how to handle it. If your kids are coming out with these behaviors that you think, like, where is this coming from, and why are you like this? You used to be my beautiful little boy. There's always some reason. When kids are happy, their needs are met, and those foundational things are in place, kids do well when they can, right? So when something is up, don't sweep it under the rug, or don't think maybe time will be a healer. Reach out, it's what I do, and I know I'm good at it, and I love it, and I just want to share this stuff with people. So reach out to me. You guys will see my links, my website, or find me on Facebook or Instagram, and we can have a chat. I want to help you guys, okay? Alright, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching again. Have a good week, guys.